All right, hi everybody, it's me, Contrary Motion, back again with another Suikogaiden Sunday. We're back with more Suikogaiden, Volume 1. Last time we did the first couple of chapters, and now we're going to do chapters 3 and 4. So Nash did a little vampire hunt with Sierra, and then he saw a bit behind the scenes in the invasion of Muse, and then... sorry. Got very distracted. A little bit behind the scenes in the invasion of Muse, and then Joey and Rio's infiltration of the Highland camp. So let's see what's in store for Nash in the next little bit. If we can get the game to work here. Every single bit of equipment malfunctioned as I was trying to get this started. And I was already pressed for time, so that wasn't a huge help. Alright, let's continue. Alright, come on, Chapter 3, let's go. A place to return to. Oh yeah, we gotta swap our game so we can be, not entirely honest about, what game we're streaming. Hello, Sunmaid! Thank you for your contribution to the Cha-Cha Challenge. It's only been 2 weeks since I entered the city-state's territory, and now I've gotten myself into the biggest mess yet of this whole infiltration mission. Oh, it's him. That harmonian... Ugh, fucking hell, I can't do anything today. No, it's him. It's that harmonian rat Lord Luca was talking about. After Muse fell to the Highland Army, I learned of Luca Blight's absence and snuck back into Muse, which had become the army's main base, but it was there that my luck ran out. He's just toying with us. It's worrisome that he appears to be able to come and go as he pleases. Even though Luca Blight wasn't there, my own arrogance had gotten me into this mess. I thought that I'd managed to escape the garrison and arrived at Muse's western border ahead of the pursuit squad that was still blundering along behind me. If I could just make it through the forest ahead of me, I'd be in Greenhill, another member of the city-states. For starters... The commander called Seed swung his long, narrow sword at me. I managed to dodge it, but just barely. It seems that attack was just for testing me. Ah, you avoided it. Are you enjoying yourself? Seed. One rat isn't worth toying with. Finish him off. Let me play with him just a little. Shit. Is he just playing with me? Discreetly, I slip a cylinder wrapped in paper out of my sleeve and into my hand. Well, you see how it is. So just give up already and enjoy your trip to the afterlife. Try not to hold a grudge. As if. I have no plans to go to the afterlife anytime soon. I have a lingering attachment to this life, and I've grown rather fond of it. Well, that's just too bad for you. He came at me once more, prepared to strike. This time he was serious. As he was a master swordsman, it was extremely difficult to try and read his moves. I closed my eyes and concentrated on the bloodthirst emanating from my opponent. It was sink or swim now. I didn't dodge his attack, but instead took the chance to crush the tube I held in my hand. turn the music down a little bit because it's still crackling.
Son of a... What the hell was that? Where'd that bastard go?
It seems our foe's no rat. He's a charlatan. As it appears, he's managed to escape us yet again. We'll have to arrange a search party. If this turns into a mountain hunt, locating our prey will be no easy feat.
That won't be necessary. Just look at the blood on my sword. That injury should slow him down considerably. Somehow they'd anticipated what my next move would be, and had ambushed me while I was traveling along the mountain path that led from Mews to Greenhill. Rumor has it that the Highland Army will be going after South Window next, and they formed a secret agreement with the Knights of Matilda. My only choice is to try to get to Greenhill. But be that as it may, my wounded right leg is throbbing relentlessly. One of the techniques I'd learned with the Howling Voice Guild was how to escape. While my opponents had been blinded by the flash I set off, I used my wire to escape that beast general's attack, but his sword had still managed to find me. A whole day's already passed, but I can't afford to be careless. The forest opened up. Before me lay a bridge destroyed by a storm. I knew it. Lady Luck has left me high and dry. There's another path that leads down into and along the valley, but it's quite the detour. Between the wire and my aching leg, I'm not sure if I can make it to the other side. But either way, it's a gamble, and the Highland search party will be catching up with me soon. Well, what should I do?
So, if we had saved up all of our luck points for the entire playthrough, and that includes being mean to Sierra, which I don't really like to do, we'd be able to jump across the chasm right now, which does lead to another part of the game that I've never seen. But it also means that you can't get the true ending. So, we're not going to do that today. Also because we can't. No, I'd better not. When you're out of luck, it's better to be careful. Well, I'm worried about my pursuers. If they're using horses along the mountain path, it won't be easy for them to catch up with me. In order to take the quickest route to the valley path, I once again went into the forest. Da-da-da-da, loading. I'd only been in the forest for a short while when I sensed something. I tried to act as natural as possible while I checked my equipment. The presence remained. It didn't move like an animal would. I started to run, and the presence that was following me in the forest followed suit. What's going on? This is strange behavior for the Highland Army. Despite following my moves so closely, it felt as though my pursuer was hesitant to attack. Who's there? Aren't we a bit old to be playing tag? Really, shouldn't it be hide and seek? Just as I called out, the presence melded with that of the forest and disappeared. I knew it hadn't really gone, though. This had become a contest of endurance. Once more, I began to run. 5 minutes. The presence was still there. 10 minutes. The distance between us remained unchanged. 15 minutes. My right leg is killing me. Shit. Looks like I'm gonna have to be the one to give up. I don't know who you are, but I don't find this funny. If you know I'm wounded and just playing with me, then go ahead and end it. Well then, don't mind if I do. I actually don't know who this is, so... Young Master Latchkey. Oh, it's Elsa!
At that instant, the presence disappeared, and before my eyes, a woman appeared instead. The Howling Voice Guild teaches many different skills, not all of them related to killing. Even in the darkness of that guild, respect and awe could still be found. Elsa was one of the few Knight-class gunners, the highest level of gunner one could obtain. She was also one of the few friends I'd gotten to know during my 2 years with the guild. Elsa? Well, this is unexpected. The guild is keeping its eye on both of us, so there's no reason to be so cold, is there? I wonder. There's every possibility that you're my pursuer from the guild. Are you? No way. I attacked a member of the guild. They'd never trust me enough to give me such an important mission. You should know that. That would normally be a logical conclusion to draw. However, the guild has taken notice of your abilities. I hear that among the elders there are those who favor you. Well, I'll take this matter into my own hands. With this declaration, Elsa drew her guns, one in each hand. 2 guns fatefully bound together by name. Stern und Mond. I can't best you in a guild match. I know I'm no match for someone of your skill. That's why Clive was chosen as your tracker. Only a Knight-class gunner can win against another Knight-class gunner, isn't that right? More or less. Despite my words, Elsa made no move to put her guns away.
I think I have to slip a flash bomb into my hand, otherwise I won't have enough luck points to finish the story. These both cost luck, right? Yeah.
This isn't a duel between fellow gunners. Although I see no reason why either of us should. There's no stopping Elsa or me from losing our lives out here. I thought to use a flash bomb as a distraction, but just as I'm about to... The impact left my hand stinging. She'd fired Mont, shooting the tube right out of my hand. It seems that young master of House...
God, what is with me today?
It seems that the young master of House Latchkey is still just a little boy pulling pranks. I'd made the first move, but I really was no match for her. Elsa calmly lifted her guns, one in each hand, and I knew her composure wasn't for show. In that case...
Time to pretend to give up.
Hey. It's no use pretending to surrender. You haven't changed a bit, have you? Even when she's not around, you still like to pretend you're some kind of pacifist.
You see right through me, huh?
As expected, my usual bag of tricks aren't going to be of any use against a Knight-class gunner. The wound on my right leg is still aching. I've been driven into a corner. As I realized this, the blades on my back had begun trembling in anticipation of being unsealed some time ago, but I suppressed their evil desire. Well, just get on with it then. In an instant, Elsa closed the distance between us, but I quickly shot my wire at a branch overhead, the resulting recoil sending me flying into the air. You're going to have to try harder than that. Elsa's shot hit my wire, snapping it. I lost my balance, kicked off a branch, and leapt through the air high above Elsa's head. But Well, it looks like it's my victory, doesn't it? It's not over yet. This isn't some spat in the guild's garden. In combat, the last one standing is the victor. Then let's finish this. Ah! I see. What do you say we call it a draw? A light, shining powder had begun to fall around Elza and me, covering the nearby area. It was a mixture containing blasting and ignition powder. The smallest spark would set off an explosion powerful enough to blow up the entire area. In short, Elza can't fire her gun without killing us both. It seems that some things have changed since then after all. In that case, why don't you stop kidding around and lower that gun already? Kidding around? You shot through my wire, but with your aim you could have just easily shot me. Indeed, you doubtless could have hit me at distances even greater than that. Well, if I had been serious, you would have died before you even noticed I was there. You're a terrible person. I had to make sure you hadn't become a coward. In order to test you, I couldn't go easy on you. And if I'd found that you had, I wouldn't have hesitated to send you to the afterlife. You really are terrible. After enjoying the rabbit I'd caught for us, we savored the coffee Elza had brought with her. She was indeed a Knight-class gunner, the highest rank in the Howling Voice Guild. Yeah, you could still say that. I'd been sent for training with the Howling Voice Guild, also known as the Guild of Assassination and Protection. It's the only entity in the world that knows the secret behind guns. It's an extremely insular guild. Very few, aside from those raised within the guild from a young age, can even become members. Thanks to their mysterious guns, they're very powerful and hold a special position even within Harmonia. I, having entered as an intern, was able to learn some of their secrets while remaining neutral to the guild. I can barely keep my eyes open. How was it? The rabbit stew, I mean. I don't think my cooking skills have declined. Yeah, that's true. You still use too much seasoning. My only thought was to please you, milady. You really haven't changed. Oh, well, you know. A lot of things may have happened since then, but I'm still me. Some things never change. Hey. Hmm? What is it?
Oh, we don't have enough popularity points for this. Oh, that's too bad. I was trying to collect them. That's too bad. You can skip this luck check if you get enough popularity points over the course of the game, but I guess I missed one opportunity, I think, because I didn't want to be mean to Sierra. Or no, because I needed one luck point from Sierra. Never mind, it's nothing. I think we did get this scene in the last playthrough, so if you want to check the archives on YouTube, you can find it.
You and I both have things in our past that we don't care to discuss. I won't tell you about myself, Clive and Kelly, and you won't tell me about you and Zaj and what happened with that woman. It's for the best. Yeah. Well, we'd better hurry up and get some sleep. Tomorrow'll be another early morning.
Why's that?
That wounded leg of yours. Your pursuers did that to you, I gather.
Yeah. I've got myself into a bit of trouble with the Highland Army. Think you could lend a hand if they show up?
Sorry, but I have no quarrel with Highland.
You really haven't changed at all. She poured the remains of the coffee over the fire, extinguishing it, and we went to sleep. She was right. It's not as if talking about it now would change the past, no matter how much we might wish it.
There are definite signs of a battle, and there's residue of some powdery substance.
It's the work of that charlatan.
Hey, get ready to set it loose. The scent of blood is so thick around here, it'll have no trouble picking up his trail.
Yes, sir. Let's give them a taste of the power of the beast rune.
Ugh. I don't think I'll ever get used to this. This isn't how battles are fought.
Indeed. There's no honor in this kind of fight. Preparations are complete.
I'll have to see this power with my own eyes. Alright, set it loose.
Yes, sir. Had a cup of coffee. Where did it go? Ah. Well, we better follow suit and begin our own preparations. Oh, I hate it when they do this. From all the noise, I gather we must have caught up with him. Oh, I bet it's Luca. No, it's Raud. No? Oh, it's Zaj.
Oh, are you coming too?
No, I think I'll pass this time. I'll be counting on you all.
Thanks. But I'll never understand how Harmonia works. I thought we'd be getting reinforcements from that priest general. But next thing I know, we get a spy in our midst, and then that very same spy runs off with our military secrets.
Harmonia is an extraordinarily large country. Although it enjoys both peace and prosperity, there are some who find such tranquility boring. We refer to them as the Democratic faction. Are you saying Lord Hikusak's authority is waning? No, not at all. In the long history of Harmonia, this is quite a common occurrence. It's just the season for a bit of spring cleaning, that's all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be on my way.
Hey, Kulgan. I don't understand Harmonians one bit.
Well, I'm not sure he's what you would call an average Harmonian.
I suppose so. Hey, we're leaving. Don't make us late.
Whoa, who knew coffee could do that?
I snapped awake. It's a force of habit by now. I don't know how many years it's been since I was able to enjoy a good long deep sleep.
Elza!
Yeah. Sounds like things have taken a turn for the worse.
From the darkness of the forest came the roar of some beast. But it was no normal beast. Its roar sounded like that of a demon from the deepest depths of hell. What the?
Nash!
Okay, it looks a little goofy in that picture.
The beast leapt out of the darkness, its sharp, gleaming claws aimed at me. I felt a rush of air across my skin as I just barely avoided its attack, and I knew this was a being of fearsome power. I don't savor the thought of taking it head on. The beast quickly recovered after the failed attack and disappeared back into the forest. This thing isn't bad. It has both brawn and brains. Nash! What on earth did you do? I've never seen a war dog like that. Well, I just kind of snuck into the Highland Army headquarters. Why? It had been so long since I'd had a good meal. I thought I could steal the beast rune for the bonus money. So far, all I've managed to collect are grudges. You can't be serious. Here it comes again. The beast headed straight for me yet again. It's a golden wolf? If you can call a beast twice the size of an adult a wolf. I had no idea it was going to turn into such a big deal. It's really persistent. It's got nothing to do with me. Under the circumstances, I disagree. You're scowling like some high-born noble. It's back again. But why is it only coming after me? It struck once more, but I knew when to dodge this time and was able to evade its attack fairly easily. Ugh, now if I could just get away. Nash! I thought the beast had leapt to attack my side again, but it had just been a feint. I changed direction mid-dodge as it came flying towards me once more. Damn it. Don't let your guard down. Elza's shot hit the beast in the foreleg and it flinched, allowing me to avoid its attack. Looks like I owe you another one. I do expect you to repay me in full someday. Provided we both live through this, that is. Sounds good to me. I don't suppose you'd want to shoot it between the eyes and add that to my tab too, would you? A small matter in theory, but I'm afraid that in this darkness and the speed at which it moves, hitting it is no easy task. First we have to figure out how to lure it out of the forest. In that case, the solution may be fairly simple. A little ways beyond this forest is a cliff. If we can get there, then we should be able to draw it out of the forest. Okay, sounds like a plan. Let's get going. I don't know why, but it seems to be aiming specifically for you. I'm in your debt. We made a mad dash around the woods, the pain in my right leg doubling in intensity. My wound had opened up again, but it was nothing compared to what that beast would do if it sunk its claws into me. Every so often, the sound of Elza's gunshots and the beast's roars echo through the night. At the rate we're going, we might just make it. Alright, let's set our trap and lay in wait for him here. Lie and wait for him. The English seems to be declining a little bit in quality in this chapter. What the? Damn, he got here fast. Elza, what should we do? This beast really is something else. Though my bullets have weakened it somewhat, it seems some sort of magical barrier still surrounds it. It's not only strong and smart, but it has a magical defense, too. What a troublesome enemy. I may have to use my secret weapon. I should hope you would. Turning towards the Golden Wolf, I fire my anchor from my left hand. Of course, I don't actually believe that such a simple attack would be effective. Just as the anchor is about to hit it, I tug at the wire. The anchor's claws open, spraying a flammable liquid in a fine mist, which I ignite at once. If the barrier is magical in origin, it should be weak against flames. How do you like the taste of that, huh? From within the flames shone a pale blue light, extinguishing the flames. Glowing upon its forehead was a rune, the Beast Rune. That's the Beast Rune, so it's one of those. The appearance of a true rune explains how it can be so strong, if it truly spawned from it. The situation is dire. We'd managed to lure it out of the forest, but neither my tricks or Elza's bullets can get through its defenses. Now we've been driven to the edge of this cliff. Sorry, Elza. I didn't expect you to give up so quickly. I thought you were more stubborn than that. You're right. Well, I'd say it's about 50-50. Huh? You mean you have a chance to beat this thing? Half resignation, half prayer to the gods. Well, that's reassuring. The Golden Wolf slowly approached us. I don't think we've seen everything it's capable of. Feels like it's holding back. Elza! Huh? Let's gamble on that prayer. Can you blind it, even for just a moment? Gambling on the depth of your piety, huh? Well, at least it's better than giving up. Loading. Elza! The sound of the shot echoed through the air. For a moment, the body of the beast lit up, sending the bullet ricocheting off of it. But the next instant, she shot another bullet right between its eyes. Elza quickly switched between Stern and Mond when she was firing. The barrier had prevented it from being fatal, but she'd fulfilled my request neatly enough. Elza, here it comes! The Golden Wolf chased after Elza with frightening strength. I grabbed Elza with my right arm and shot my wire up into the air with the other, sending us both flying. We soared over the Golden Wolf as it stared up at us with a stunned look on its face and jumped into the forest. Now it was the wolf's turn to have its back up against the edge of the cliff. Elza! This is the end. Elza fired a bullet, hitting the ground at the golden beast's feet. Its barrier shone bright once more, but we hadn't been aiming for the beast itself. At the moment of impact, the ground beneath the beast exploded, enveloping it in a haze of smoke and debris. We'd blown up the cliff, sending the beast plummeting into the deep valley below. Looks like our prayers were answered. I don't believe in such things.
Mm-hmm.
Say, Nash.
What's up?
So, just how long are you planning on holding me like this?
Good old Elsa.
After that, Elsa and I returned to our campsite, made our preparations for departure, and parted ways. Both of us have our own objectives, our own destinations. But even though we'd only spent a short time together, it had been a nice diversion. Upon parting, Elsa left me with these words. My journey will eventually end in my death, but you must strive to live. Hers was a sorrow that ran far deeper than mine. As soon as Elsa and I parted ways, I got as far away from that place as fast as I could. I have my pursuers to deal with, and I don't want to get her any more mixed up in this than she already has been. Despite my injured leg, I hurried along the mountain path. I'd been walking for about 2 hours when I had to stop and take a break. Night had already begun to fall. It appears the beast fell from here, but it wouldn't have died from just that. Though it may just have run out of time. The prototype only lasts for a night, after all. There's no way that fool could have bested it.
It has physical as well as magical strength, but it isn't too intelligent.
It is only a beast, after all. Either way, it's unreliable. As soon as it catches the scent of blood, it won't let up, and you never know where it'll turn up.
It's as I've always thought. Battles are best fought with one's own hands.
Ah, so you think so too?
I prefer to end things by my own hand.
Well, in any case, we've lost sight of him. Should we head back?
It's not in my nature to stop halfway through a mission. If he's traveling along this path, his destination must be Greenhill. If we take horses, we might be able to cut him off.
Yeah, you're right. I'd like to try my hand against that guy in combat again. If I can just go on for 3 more hours, I should be in Greenhill. When I've made it that far, I can rest easy. It seems my pursuers are slowly giving up. My step gradually begins to lighten. I wonder if I can see it from here. But it wasn't the sight of Greenhill that met my eyes as I scanned the horizon. It was a soldier on horseback. The man who'd cut my right leg. I immediately whirled around to return down the path I'd come on, but another man blocked my way.
Long time no see. We were in such a rush last time, I'm afraid I wasn't able to introduce myself properly. I'm Culgan, commander of the 4th Highland Army. We finally caught up with you. You made us work quite hard for this.
You're quite the persistent one yourself. Don't you have better things to do than follow me around?
Sure, if you were no more than a common thief. But a Harmonian spy is an entirely different story.
But Highland and Harmonia are allies. If you kill me, won't it create diplomatic issues between the two countries? That's the least of your concerns. Before I'd realized it, the other man had come up behind me and swung his sword. I spun around, but my injured leg impeded my movement, and I was unable to completely dodge his sword, giving me a fresh wound on my left arm. You're as light on your feet as ever.
It was by the request of a high-ranking Harmonian officer that we came all this way. It would seem that your situation is quite complex,
A high-ranking Harmonian officer? What in the world is he talking about? Only the captain of the garrison is supposed to know about my infiltration mission here. Your right leg, your left arm, what's next? Mr. Charlatan.
Charlatan, huh? Was that your attempt at a joke?
You could say that.
Well, then why not try this on for size?
I slip a flash bomb into the palm of my right hand and a throwing knife into my left. Take this! Just as I attempted to set off the flash bomb, Seed knocked it out of my hand with a single strike of his sword. Well, what now? Enough of your clever little tricks. Get serious.
Yeah.
He's just toying with me. But even so, it doesn't look like there's any chance of me escaping this time. For the moment, the thought of releasing the swords at my back fills my head, but I desperately resist the temptation. Fine. If you want to fight this out to the bitter end, I'll be your opponent. So, you finally come around. There's no need to lead us on this wild chase to get here.
Skylar's so mad.
I have a few fire bombs that I hadn't used in the fights with Elza and the Golden Wolf in my right sleeve, some throwing knives in my left, darts in my right gauntlet, the wired anchor in the left. It'll be alright. Let's do this.
Your expression has changed. It seems you're finally ready to be serious about this. Now, face me.
Take this! Feigning a leap, I backstep and throw a firebomb with my right hand so that it'll detonate right in their faces.
Water rune.
But Kulgan called on the magic of his water rune and the firebomb extinguished. Anticlimactically fell to the ground. Well, if that's how you're gonna be.
I'm okay. It was an annoying day today.
I immediately threw a knife with my left hand, but Seed parried it with ease. However, I was counting on that. It was time to set up the shot for my favorite dart.
Thunder rune, strike down my enemy.
Lightning shot from Kulgan's left hand, and amidst that blinding brilliance, Seed lunged forward to attack with surprising force. Synchronized sword and magic attack. Even if I was able to dodge the sword, I'd be fried to a crisp by the magic attack. If I endured the magic, I'd be stabbed by the sword.
Ugh!
Huh. I absorbed the impact with my arms, leaving them numb. Gripping an earth talisman in my hand, I'd use my left arm to absorb the lightning strike, and use my right arm gauntlet to defend against the sword's blow. But I wasn't out of the frying pan just yet. Or rather, it might be more accurate to say I'd fallen into the fire. I only had the strength to fend off one more attack at best. What, is that all you've got? I thought you'd last longer.
Funny, Sierra just said that to me the other night. It certainly is something of a disappointment. Especially considering everything that Harmonian officer told us about you.
Does he have some kind of grudge against you? What was his name again, that guy?
He called himself Zaj. He was a quiet fellow, but when it came to you, he was surprisingly vindictive.
What? What did you just say? Hard of hearing, are we? He said we got the information from a harmonian called Zaj. But enough chit-chat. Here I go. Crossing both my arms, I stopped Seed's attack by blocking it with the gauntlets on my arms.
Yeah, the English is noticeably worse now than it was earlier.
Zaj? That's ridiculous. Shit. Those gauntlets are surprisingly tough. But the next one will be the last. Let's go, Kulgan. They're coming. If they hit me with that simultaneous magic and sword attack again, there's no way I'll survive. But... Zaj... Seed's closing the distance between us with stunning speed. Kulgan's rune is shining. But my mind's calm. It isn't simply free of idle thoughts. I've gone beyond feelings and simply feel nothing at all anymore. I'll be breaking the oath I made. But... I have... to live. They said Zaj. If it's him... Giving in to the temptation of the swords on my back, I made my move. My hands unconsciously reached for and unfastened their clasps. In my right hand is Schwartz, and my left is Weiss. Slowly they slid out of the sheaths they'd been sealed in. It's over. Schwartz! What now? Weiss!
You repelled the lightning?
What the devil are those? When I wield these swords, it no longer matters to me who lives and who dies. I'd vowed never to use them again, but I couldn't throw them away. Perhaps that will prove to be my downfall. In the name of the Latchkey family, in the name of the dual snake sword, Grossa Fluss. I wielded a sword in each hand, and memories of techniques I'd learned came flooding back. Memories that I'd sealed away. Shit! What in the hell is this?
Be careful. Those swords aren't just made for killing.
I already know that. With Schwartz in my right hand, I make a grand sweeping attack, but it's easily avoided. However, that was just a feint. Gripped in my left hand, Weiss shot out. Though it's a blade, the reason it's called one of the dual snake swords is that it can extend itself. Seed barely managed to defend himself in time. As expected. Shit! That was close. If you're this good with a sword, then why didn't you just use one from the beginning? I flick my wrist and draw the fully extended Weiss back into a blade to repel Seed's counterattack. But Kulgan appeared from my blind spot, sword at the ready. He tried to stab me in the throat, but a swing with Schwartz in my right hand easily deflected it.
This technique provides quite the defense.
It's been too long since I've encountered a foe who could put up a decent fight. This is great. I twist my wrist, and both Schwartz and Weiss are back into their sword forms.
That's hard to go back and forth between the German and the English.
This is it. I kick up some dirt and rush between the two of them, striking them both at the same time. Kulgan managed to avoid Weiss, but Schwarz's blade made contact with Seed. At that instant, Schwarz transformed once again and, whip-like, twisted around the blade Seed had been about to attack with. Ah! Seed lost his sword and jumped back to avoid Schwarz's attack, but my efforts hadn't been for nothing.
Seed.
I'm fine. It just grazed my chest. Seed had started to get up, but fell down on one knee. Schwarz's deadly poison had already made contact.
Too bad.
I raised the swords high over my head and twisted my body, but I tripped and stumbled. My left foot is slick with blood. Seed hadn't broken my defense, but when he was being hit by Schwarz, he'd managed to cut my leg with a dagger he had in his left hand. Shit. And I'd made it so far. The poison should be coursing through Seed's system by now, but that still left Kulgan. Without the use of both legs, I have no chance of winning against him. Just as I feared, Kulgan approached me. My whole body is shaking as I try to gather strength into my hands and repel his sword once again, but I end up with his sword at my throat.
Sheesh, Seed is hopeless sometimes. You don't fight that recklessly against an enemy you don't fully understand.
So now you're going to kill me on his behalf?
Well, that would please me. You're the only one who should know about the antidote. Give it to me, and I'll spare your life. Won't take me at my word?
In the inner pocket of my coat on the right-hand side is the green bottle.
This one?
Do you trust me? The only guarantee I can offer that really is the antidote is my word.
If you've lied to me, I'll strike you down. And that's no threat, it's the truth, plain and simple.
Kulgan pulled out the antidote and, letting go of me, returned to Seed's side, had him drink it. The effect won't be immediately apparent. Carrying the still unconscious Seed, Kulgan mounted his horse.
We'll call this match a draw.
This match, huh? I'm risking my life over a match. I'll pass, thanks. I think it's so more. Oh God, what's the word actually in Japanese? Shobai probably, or something like that. That more implies a game.
Is that so? Then I suggest you leave this land as soon as you've recovered. It won't be long before Greenhill becomes a battlefield too.
Thanks for the advice, but I still have my mission.
Do as you wish. Till we meet again.
With those words, they made their exit. Somehow I managed to survive yet again. I was overcome with joy. Oh. Joy might not be the word for it. Sprawled on the ground, I gazed up at the sky. Clouds floated by, being carried wherever the wind took them. Just like my future. Well, we got a luck point anyway. I think that's the end of the chapter. Yes, indeed. Well, it's too bad we didn't get the Elza backstory this time. We did get it last time. This is like
the path that I've chosen through this time seems to have been less effective. We did get the extra Joey scene with him and Jillia, so I guess that's worth the trade-off. But I think next time we do this, we're just going to have to be mean to Sierra in the beginning. No two ways around it. All right, so we've got Chapter 4 ready to go here, but it looks like we're going to get an ad in a minute. So let's take a break. I'm not going to go anywhere, but let's just take a break from reading for a moment and have a nice little rest. I'll have a little bit of spicy water. And so to answer your question earlier, Skylar, what happened today was just a debacle. So I have this show that I've been trying to produce at this venue for a few months now. Originally, it was supposed to be weekly. That's like how they approached me and the original pitch I made to them. And then the owner handed me off to this other person who like made it into a monthly, and there were all kinds of misunderstandings, and it's not really what I wanted to do. And so it's a hard sell to get people to come to this place because it's new and not really known for comedy. And then it turned out today, even though I really advertised the heck out of the show, because of the stupid hockey playoffs, nobody showed up, so I had to cancel it anyway. That pretty much has, I think, killed it for the future. So that was my day. But at least that means I'll be free to do other stuff, I guess. So there you go. All right. I love that Twitch just sits on this ad starting soon thing after the countdown finishes for some indeterminate amount of time before it decides to actually run the ad, which I don't want to start the next chapter until the ad is done. But what are we going to do? Come on, do the ad. I can't even force it because it turns the button off. There we go. All right. So we'll get the next chapter started in another minute and a half while we're waiting for these things to finish. So I think after we're done with these two chapters tonight, I will do like I did last time and play a little bit of Final Fantasy X. I'll just stop the stream briefly so that I can get everything set up, because I think OBS will crash anyway if I try to swap over to it. And that's pretty much it. I have made a significant amount of progress since last week. I did pretty much the rest of the major story. Went through Bavel, went up Mount Gagazet, did Xanarkand, killed Unalesca, and so now there's we just got the airship, so I'll mostly just be doing other garbage, random extra stuff, of which there's a ton in that game. So I the last time I played it, I think it took me 99 hours to finish everything, and I'm only at hour 30 something now. So there's plenty of game anyway, but it'll be a lot of that, grinding for stuff that you have to do in that game. All right, it looks like the ad is over, so let's continue into the last episode of the chapter. I stirred from my sleep to find myself in a clean bed. The sunshine felt great. After enjoying the pleasant sensation of the sunshine on my face for a little while, I sat up and looked around. The room was simple but functional. I heard someone moving around downstairs. Where was I? I sat my feet on the floor. A bandage had been carefully wrapped around my right foot.
Gingerly, I tried moving my body. The pain in my joints let me know how long I'd slept. I shifted my hip downward again and started massaging my ankle. I needed to work my way toward being able to use my muscles again. At least now I knew what condition I was in. Oh, I forget who this is.
Oh, so you've come too, have you? Good.
My arm massaging interrupted. I turned to find a young woman looking pleasantly surprised. Thank you for taking care of me. Is this your work?
Well, yes, but only because Lady Teresa ordered me to. I really am glad, though. If you died, I'd be in big trouble. It really is a miracle you survived, though. One of the students happened to find you nearly dead in the forest behind the school. You really ought to thank them.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yes, don't forget to pay for your lodgings. It's been 3 days after all. It's a small price to pay for your life, no?
Okay. I guess it's better than stealing my wallet and leaving me there alone.
Well then, if you're ready, come on downstairs. We'll give you 3 days worth of breakfast.
Can I have hard over eggs and crispy bacon, please?
Eggs should be fine, but I'm not sure if we have any bacon left. I can get you anything else?
How about your name?
I'm Yuri. Well then, see you downstairs.
As she said those words, the young lady left the room. So, this was the second floor of the inn I'd been taken to after being snatched from the brink of death. And that girl, Yuri. I hate to say it, but she hadn't saved me out of the kindness of her heart. Well, that's enough information gathering. She'd said Teresa. Teresa is the name of the mayor of Greenhill's daughter. In any case, it seemed like I was getting closer to my destination. After massaging my body a while longer, I figured I was in good enough condition to walk around town. Gathering some light equipment, I went downstairs to the first floor.
Oh, so you finally came down. I thought you'd be down sooner, so your breakfast has cooled down a bit. What's the matter? Lost your appetite?
No, not at all. What to choose? I guess I'll start with this.
You sure are a strange one. Well, I guess you did almost die not too long ago.
The breakfast wasn't anything like 3 days' worth. Glancing over at the other tables, however, I could see their situations were much the same. Nothing but bread, weak soup, and egg-based dishes. Before I snuck into the city-states, our intelligence had reported that for years Greenhill's harvest had been poor. This much we'd known, but the situation was even worse than I'd anticipated.
Well, did that fill you up?
As she drew closer, Yuri lowered her voice.
Since it's been 3 days, we gave you a little extra. But don't tell the other guests.
A famine, huh? I'd heard you'd had bad harvests, but...
Yes, well, there's also that to consider, Mr.
It's Nash.
Nash. Alright then. Please sign the guest register later. So what were we talking about?
The famine.
Oh, yes, that's right. There have been poor harvests, and then there was that battle between Muse City and Highland, right? We shipped a large amount of food off to Muse to help out in any way we could. As Greenhill only has volunteer militia, no real army of its own. That was Lady Teresa's decision, but then Muse fell so quickly.
Teresa? You mean the mayor's daughter, Teresa?
Yes, that's her. Mayor Alec is sick and bedridden, so right now Teresa's our acting mayor. You should thank her too.
Lady Teresa was the one who brought you up to this inn and paid a small deposit in advance for your stay here.
If she hadn't paid on my behalf for the stay, what would have happened to me?
Who knows what would have happened?
Leaving me with that mystery, Yuri left to take another guest's order. As I enjoyed my post-meal coffee, I considered my next move. I already sent off word about the Beast Rune, but all clues regarding my original objective, finding the True Rune, had dried up. I'm overdue to report in, but with nothing to show for my investigation, there's little point in returning for the time being. I'm now wanted by Highland at the very least. If I want to ensure my safety, the best thing to do would be to enter Grassland via the Matilda Knightum, and return to the Southern Frontier Defense Force's headquarters in Caleria. However, I have a growing inclination to remain and see what happens in the war between Highland Kingdom and the city-states. After finishing my weak coffee, I went to visit Teresa Wisemail, who is both my savior and Greenhill's acting mayor, in order to ask her a few questions. Upon getting my clothes in order, signing the inn's register, paying my 3 days' rent, and finally freeing myself from Yuri, I arrived at the entrance to New Leaf Academy, aiming to find Teresa. Since the independent town of Greenhill was born from a simple college town, I'd learned that the mayor traditionally also serves as the dean of its New Leaf Academy. Passing through the gates, I began my search for the reception desk as two students approached from up ahead.
You have to admit, that quiet guy is just perfect. Really? I'm not so sure. He's just so dreamy, and he gives off this feeling like he's a prince from a far-off land or something. Oh, come on, you always say stuff like that.
Excuse me, but could one of you tell me where the reception desk is?
No, he's different from the rest. I packed a lunch and gave it to him. I wonder if he's eaten it or not.
The reception desk?
Oh, that's right. I need to go and get the box back from him.
Could you...
What do you want? What do you have to be so loud?
Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm looking for the reception desk.
Oh, the reception desk. It's over... Hey, hang on. You're not from around here, are you? The reception desk? Leave it to me. This way. Over here. Come on, hurry up.
Wait a sec.
That didn't take long. Looks like Nina's at it again. Uh-huh. So your name is Mr. Nash. Hey, is this blonde hair the real thing? It's not a wig, is it?
Why not give it a tug and see?
Wow, really? Can I?
Ouch, knock it off, kid. Why is she so surprised by blonde hair? She has blonde hair.
Please keep it down out there. Oh, Miss Nina. Not you again. Oh, Miss Amelia. I'm sorry. Mr. Nash here has business with you.
Oh, aren't you... well...
You're the one they found behind the school, right? Are you feeling better already?
Well, I'm alive at any rate.
I thought I should at least come here and thank Lady Teresa. Can I speak with her? Yes, of course, but she's a busy woman. You'll have to make an appointment, if that's okay. We'll send word to the inn you were taken to. Alright. Looks like I'll be troubling that inn for a little while longer. When they brought you in, you were covered in mud, but you're pretty cute when you're cleaned up. Why don't we go out for dinner sometime? Huh? I found Mr. Nash first, you know. You're breaking the rules. Young lady. Huh? Oh, never mind. But now that you mention it, Lady Teresa is conducting negotiations in the Highland camp. She should be returning soon, so you might catch her at the city gates if you want to meet her. Then I might be able to thank her there. It's worth a shot. Oh, Mr. Nash. Wait for me. I can show you the way. For some reason, the schoolgirl Nina insisted on accompanying me to the front gate. If Teresa was negotiating with the Highland Army, it could only mean one thing. The city was on the brink of falling under their control. Whether I plan to escape or resume my search, it's going to take longer than I expected. Soldiers and townsfolk alike were gathered in front of the gate. All were looking outside, no doubt praying for Teresa's safe return. Suddenly, a murmur rippled through the crowd. The gate slowly opened and the crowd parted, forming a path between them. Several Highland troops marched through the crowd, behind their commander. They were preceded by a young blonde woman who must be Teresa. A warrior in foreign-looking clothes walked beside her. Once the group had reached the front gate, Teresa and the swordsman turned around. I made my way through the crowd as best I could to get a look at their faces.
Well then, please consider our offer. It's not a bad deal, I think.
The only thing you offered was unconditional surrender, and that Greenhill supply the Highland Army until we're sucked dry. And you know the people would suffer. Have you no heart whatsoever?
There's nothing we can do for the townspeople. However, we can guarantee the safety of the Wisemell family. Circumstances permitting, you may even be welcomed into Laurent as a noble.
The mayor of Greenhill will not be so easily bribed into disgracing herself. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Oh my, you speak with such authority. However, you face 15,000 elite troops of the 4th Highland Army. Greenhill's defenders only number 7,000, and I understand they're a militia of townspeople. I wonder how long they can hold out.
Sir Raud, perhaps you should return for today. Highland and Greenhill currently have a truce. But in a state of war, this would be Greenhill territory, and my sword would be against your throat in a heartbeat.
Are you trying to insult me? The truce for parley only lasts until dawn for tomorrow. Only lasts until dawn tomorrow. I suggest you consider your options carefully.
Lady Teresa. I'm all right, Shin. Let's go back. The entire crowd began to move at once. I tried to wiggle my way to the front somehow, but unfortunately I didn't get a chance. In front of the gate, the enemy commander was speaking to Teresa about something. What to do?
Alright, so we have 3 luck points. Let me just have a look here. Uh, okay, so we have the ability to meet 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the ability to meet 3 out of the 4 characters that we have a chance to meet in this section of the game. I don't know how I stockpiled all those luck points last time. I guess it was ignoring stuff during the Highland camp and being more mean to Sierra. So we have an opportunity to meet Jude here, which I think I didn't do last time. But if I do that, then we'll have to either not meet Khan or not meet Stallion. Or not meet Georg, but we can't possibly consider that. So, I think we're gonna skip Jude. Maybe. Because that will give us 4 luck points. You know what, I think no matter what. Huh. I think no matter what, we're gonna get stuck missing out on some people. But let's get.
At this rate, no struggling would help. For now, I'll return to the inn. Somehow I made it through the crowd back to the inn. In any case, Teresa's incredibly popular among the townsfolk. It's obvious that she's no ordinary young woman. I sat at the bar waiting for my order of lemon tea. If the crowds calm down somewhat later on, I'll try and get a chance to talk to Teresa. Slowly, I closed my eyes.
We just see Nash sleeping in the darkness.
Well, what should I do now? My orders are to find the true rune, but I haven't even gotten a scrap of information regarding it. Soon it'll be past the deadline for the investigation. I've sent a bunch of other information, so I do have an excuse. I think I might not really like all this Special Forces work after all. I can't go back to Crystal Valley, of course. The only thing I can do is hide myself in the Southern Frontier Defense Force. It's been 3 years since I entered the Special Forces. I've traveled to many places. In the beginning, I thought it might not be so bad if I died. But I've realized that I don't feel that way anymore. If I can, I want to return to Crystal Valley. I want to go back and see them.
Who is this?
Do you mind if I sit here? I opened my eyes, startled. I knew that voice. Right in front of my eyes, sitting there, was... You don't have to look so surprised. It's been a while, Nash Latchkey. Zaj! Is it really you? Oh, is it the hair color? My hair and eyes, even my name. You all only knew the fake me, but feel free to use my old name. What's wrong? I thought you'd heard from those 2 generals. Is this really so unexpected? Why? You're... This man sitting here with a bold smile. Zaj, why are you here? I thought I killed you. That poison Schwartz is coated in. Zodiac Tower. If I hadn't gotten the antidote in time... Anyway, the Guild has a long history of assassinations, and that has accumulated a vast amount of knowledge toward that end. The results are a bit showy, so I'm not sure I like them. So you're saying the wound you received wasn't fatal? Right. Back there, your loud way of doing things naturally created a bit of an uproar. It was naive and childish of you. Though the wound you gave me may have healed, I still remember my resentment towards you. The disgrace of defeat is not so easily forgotten. So, you want a rematch? That would be careless. Suddenly, Zaj was gripping a miniature gun in the palm of his hand. I may not quite be a knight-class gunner, but I doubt you can get away from the gunpoint of a squire-class gunner all the same. Won't know until I try. Grosser Fluss is trembling. There's no choice. If my opponent's a gunner, I need to depend on this thing again. Do you really think that will work? Zaj indicated my swords with a nod on his chin. Damn. My nerves rusty too? This wasn't exactly the best time for memories to come flooding back. Zaj almost certainly had his gunner henchmen spread throughout the place posing as patrons. If I tried to do anything with my sword, this place would become a hornet's nest in an instant. Even if I managed to dodge them for a while, innocent people, including Yuri, would surely be injured. You understand, Nash? You've certainly planned things out. But why have you gone so far? Don't you think this is a bit much? It would be simple to take your life. If it were up to me, I would take you in and entrust you to the Guild's torture expert. Under the circumstances, you can't be forgiven. What do you mean? During your absence, an awful lot has transpired in Crystal Valley. So then, the Highland General's advance was your doing. I simply gave him a bit of advice. The results were a little different from what I'd expected. In any case, the fact that we can't act directly is somewhat irritating, but at least you will die. You'll disappear, missing in action, and no one will be any the wiser. Farewell, Nash. Wait! Yes? Why did you go out of your way just to say all that? It should be obvious. It's because I wanted you to know. I can kill you at any time. Even I have my pride. With that said, Zaj quietly left the inn. His gunner henchmen also warily stood up one by one, and, eyes watchful, disappeared out the door. Afterwards, I was left on my own. Now alone, I wondered whether the encounter had been real. For a while, I was stunned. Zaj was still alive. Not only that, he was looking to kill me. That much was clear. Escaping from the siege would be no small feat. But what to do now? Hey, that's the guy.
Huh? Yes, that's right, but...
It appears I'm being pursued yet again. Ugh, I'm sick and tired of it all, but I'll just have to wait and see what happens. Several militia members came up to me. Are you Nash? The Nash who came here from Muse?
Yeah, that's right. You don't have to ask twice. I heard you the first time. Hey, it really is him. Hurry up, everyone. What's the problem? You're coming with us to go see Lady Teresa. Come on, stand up. The man grabbed my arm roughly in an attempt to make me stand. Reversing the maneuver, I lightly twisted his arm upward. No! No! If we're going to see Teresa, I'd be more than happy to come along. I was planning to head over there myself, so there's no need to do anything crazy. I got it. Please just let go of my arm. Sure thing. Yeah. The man lost his balance and fell to the floor with a loud crash. Well, shall we go? You'll take me to where Teresa is, correct? Yeah. Come with us. The militia soldiers surrounded me as we left the inn to go see Teresa. Along the way, I inspected the militia's equipment. The armor they used was similar to that of the Muse troops, and here and there were signs of recent repair. They didn't have enough gear, and they looked like they didn't know the first thing about fighting. It seemed like they'd just fall apart if they had to fight much. They held a hodgepodge of mismatched weapons. Some had swords so long they might hit their comrades more than their enemies. Others had daggers not much bigger than knives. They probably hadn't done a formal drill ever. No doubt about it, they were a bunch of novices. The elite hand-picked troops of Highland wouldn't have any trouble with them. Alright, here it is. Get in there. Alright, I got it. Hold your horses. We'd come to the room I'd been to before on the school's campus. It looked like the dean's office. I opened the door to find Teresa, the foreign swordsman, and Amelia inside.
What is it? That man. He's the one who was dying earlier.
Yes, Lady Teresa. We just arrested a man named Nash. The Highland troops are searching for him. Hey, get in here.
Hey, I already told you I understand. Don't grab me like that.
This man is Nash.
What are you saying? Who gave you those orders?
Well, we heard that one of Highland's terms was that we capture and hand over a vagabond named Nash who'd escaped from Muse.
It's impossible to keep rumors from spreading. We haven't decided on Highland's terms yet.
Oh. I see.
It's impossible to keep rumors from spreading. We haven't even decided on Highland's terms yet.
But for negotiating purposes. If we were to hand this guy over, it should buy us a little more time.
If he's wanted by Highland, he won't be long for this world if we hand him over. I don't have the arrogance to negotiate with a person's life. All of you leave now.
But...
Stand down.
Understood.
As the militia reluctantly filed out, Teresa approached me.
I most humbly apologize for the behavior of my troops. Are you in better health now?
Well... Yes.
In any case, I was thinking about coming to express my gratitude anyway. Thank you for saving me after I collapsed. No thanks are necessary. It's only natural to save a wounded traveler. Lady Teresa? Yes, Amelia, I know. Please excuse me, Mr. Nash. We're in the middle of some planning. For the war against Highland? Yes, the armistice ends tomorrow morning. Will probably turn into a full-blown battle. It's probably best for you to leave this town as quickly as possible.
Sounds like a bad situation.
But the Highland Army already has Green Hill surrounded. So even if you did run... Hi, Thiessen.
I thought over the situation a lot. I don't know what Zaj is planning, but he won't be able to kill me directly. Not if he's shooting for the missing in action ruse. The Highland generals that pursued me were probably Zaj's doing as well. Highland already has Green Hill under siege. It's only a matter of time before Green Hill will be occupied by Highland. Someone like me, wanted by Highland, will be tracked down and executed.
No, they didn't listen to you. You didn't listen to you. Well, you should listen to you, if nobody else does.
Well, if Green Hill falls into Highland's hands, it seems pretty likely that Zaj and his guild henchmen will take advantage of the confusion to kill me. After all this, it looks like my fate in Green Hills may be the same, like a candle's flame flickering before a strong wind. There are two paths here. I can lend my strength to Green Hill and hope that they break Highland's siege with my help, or I can try to break out of the siege and flee on my own and take on both Highland troops and the gunners. So, what to do?
I think that... I can't remember if we did the bad ending last time. We can do the bad ending and try to come back here. Well, not try. We can do the bad ending and then come back here. I think that we will do that. So let's save our state. And then I believe I should be able to... Nah, it won't let me access the save menu here. But we do have a state saved, right? Yeah. Alright, so let's try to escape somehow.
That's right. I'm not going to throw in my lot with some rural border town. As for escaping, I'll manage somehow. You might even say it's a special talent of mine.
But, very well. Behind this campus is a forest. There's a secret path there that can be used to bypass the gate. Shin will show you the way. Please escape from there.
I'd appreciate that. I'd like to leave as soon as I've packed my things.
Shin, please guide him.
Yes, my lady.
Take care of yourself, Mr. Nash. If we get the chance, let's meet again.
Is Shin from armies? I'm not sure if that was ever established. Because I didn't do the Richmond investigation of him in the last game. But now that I think about it, it looks like he might be. Let's look it up, actually. Always curious. Ha ha. Too much butter? How could you have too much butter? Apparently he's from the Southlands. Oh, okay. So apparently his, let's see. Let's check the Suiko wiki, actually. Because Suiko source says Southlands doesn't refer to a particular place, it just means he's from the south. In other words, possibly the southern continent, which would be consistent with armies. But let's see what his Richmond investigations say. Couldn't find out much, thought he was sleeping, but all of a sudden he woke up and put his sword up to my throat, scared the living crap out of me. Secret number 3. I know he's from the south, but I can't find out any more details. You know how that guy is. Yeah, so the Suikoden wiki speculates that he may be from New Army's kingdom, based on his clothes, which are similar to the Army's people in later games. Alright. So that answers that question.
Take care of yourself, Mr. Nash. If we get the chance, let us meet again.
Of course. Farewell. I left, accompanied by Shin. As the door closed, I heard Teresa and Amelia begin discussing their plan. Tomorrow morning, the Highland Army will begin its attack. Those two won't have time to sleep while making their preparations. I could sense the acting mayor's devotion to her citizens as we left the campus behind and headed for the inn.
Okay, Thiessen, bye. Huh? Mr. Nash? Are you leaving already?
Shh! Shin managed to get Yuri to control that loud voice of hers. The inside of the inn was packed with soldiers. On each and every face was concern for tomorrow's battle. Revealing that I was running away in such a loud voice in the middle of that, I can't imagine how they would react.
Yes, you've been a big help. I think I've paid you already for the
Oh, sorry, that's obviously Nash.
Yes, you've been a big help. I think I've paid you already for the rent.
You have, but...
I don't have much time. Goodbye.
Well, okay then. See you again, Mr. Nash.
Yeah. See you again. Carrying the luggage, we left the inn behind. Throughout the city, soldiers and townsfolk were making preparations for the battle. If the soldiers following their instructions were novices, then Teresa must be new to the battlefield herself. I don't know how effective her preparations will be. Shin, silent from start to finish, led me to the inside of the school. In a side corridor, he touched a statue, causing a part of the wall to slide to the side, revealing a path to the outside. Outside, the sun was still high in the sky, making the forest fairly bright. Not even the Highland Army could guard all the paths. Shin didn't say anything, but seemed to plan on leading me as far as he could. Once the forest opened into a clearing, Shin turned around. Is this as far as you'll go? Which way should I head? Shin silently slashed at me with his sword. I instantly blocked it with a dagger from my sleeve. Hey, what the? Just as I thought. That maneuver.
That's not Shin.
You're a skilled fighter.
And? I'm thrilled to receive that kind of praise, but this is a little sudden, isn't it?
I apologize for my rudeness. But I have a request to make of you. What in the world do you want now? You've seen it for yourself. Greenhill is in a most dire situation. I know my lady faces inevitable death, but no battle is a foregone conclusion. Sir Nash, no one in Greenhill has your experience with battle. Won't you lend your strength to Greenhill and to my lady? I beg of you.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm not...
Shin, however, did not lift his head. He knew that his lady would bravely go to her own death. He also knew very well that Greenhill's militia had no chance of winning the battle as it was. This man knew that. If that happens, what fate awaits her? In this nearly unknown frontier town. Here, she found a stranger, collapsed and possibly dying, and saved him. And if Greenhill falls, what will happen to Yuri, Amelia, and the rest? But that's something I can't consider. It doesn't matter how much you beg. This has nothing to do with me. I see. I'm sorry to have kept you. If you head north, you should be able to escape the siege. You may find some Highland sentries along the way, so be careful as you go. I'm prepared for that. Well then, I'll pray for your success in battle. Even should it cost me my sword, I will at least protect my lady. Farewell. Shin began to walk back to Greenhill with the gait of a warrior who's prepared for death. After watching him leave, I entered the forest to begin my escape. And so I ended my too-long stay in Greenhill. Along the way, I had to fight off just one assassin sent by Zaj. After that, the road was peaceful. In a village I passed by, I heard that Greenhill had fallen a short while after I left. Teresa's whereabouts were unknown, and many townspeople had lost their lives in the civil unrest that followed. What happened to Yuri, Teresa, and Shin? I can only guess now. In the end, I may just have to keep on running. When I think about all the people I left behind in Crystal Valley, my chest aches a little.
And that's the bad ending. Alright, so let's head back and lend our strength. So we've seen that other scene now, so we don't have to agree, thanks to Shin's convincing.
That's right. Even putting the Highland Army aside, Zaj's men will be keeping an eye out for me. Escape is pretty much impossible.
Apparently it isn't.
Zaj's goal to the bitter end is to make it look like I bungled my mission and got killed by Highland troops. If I ran away now, I'd expect him to take advantage of it. So I decided to say that to Teresa's now bewildered face. It seems my fate is bound up with Greenhill's, so I'll lend you my strength. For my sake and for Greenhill's. Mr. Nash, I appreciate your offer, but please rest and recover your health. Leave the fighting to us. We'll not let Greenhill fall. If things proceed as they are, your head will be on display at the city gates by tomorrow morning. Then the swordsman at Teresa's side, who'd been silent through all this, suddenly approached me. It seems he didn't appreciate my words. Shin, stop that! Mr. Nash is only trying to... My apologies. Shin silently slashes at me with his sword. I instantly block it with the dagger I quickly drew from my sleeve. He doesn't let any surprise show in his face, as if somehow he'd known that this would happen. I simply wanted to determine your skill. I apologize for my rudeness.
So, did I pass your test?
Between that technique and the way you move, it's clear that you have military experience. Here in Greenhill, there are nearly none with such experience. If you would lend us your strength, we would be truly grateful.
You have nothing to do with Greenhill. We don't want to drag you into this.
Stop right there. You might say that, but since I can't run away, I think it's fair to say I have a stake in this. Even putting that aside, I'm still a wanted man in Highland.
That may be, but... Well, how about thinking about it this way, then? While Highland has Greenhill under siege, Nash can't escape. So until the siege is lifted, we'll borrow his strength. It's true that we have desperate need of anyone with experience. As long as Nash is okay with it.
Right. Now that that's decided, we better start mobilizing. We only have until tomorrow morning. We can't lose this fight, Miss Acting Mayor.
Yes.
Alright, so it looks like... Let me just have a look at our luck points and what we need to spend them on. We currently have 4. Which means we basically don't have very many options left. For some reason, I really cornered myself in this playthrough. I don't know why. I thought I would have done a better job than that. It seems like... So our choice is either to see Conan Stallion or to see Georg, but we can't see all 3 of them. So I think this time... Well, last time we did see Conan Stallion, so I guess this time we will choose not to, and then we will see Georg, because if we don't, then we get the false ending. Okay. The citizens had gathered in the plaza in front of campus. Every single face had a look of anxiety that was impossible to hide. Clearly, the reason was the breakdown of negotiations. Crying voices were among the crowd as it stirred. It was turning into a pretty tragic atmosphere. It's undeniable that this is a group anticipating an upcoming battle. Suddenly, the entire crowd lifted their faces as one to look up towards a single point. Teresa had arrived in front of them. Gradually, Teresa made her way to the center and began to speak in a clear voice.
Everyone, please listen to me. 2 weeks have passed since Highland's troops first laid siege to Greenhill. Our supply situation is not yet desperate, but Muse has been lost and South Window is already in Highland's hands. We've sent several messengers to the Knights of Matilda, but perhaps they were captured on the way. Either way, the Knights haven't moved. As you all know, I went to negotiate with the Highland Army earlier. However, their terms for surrender require that Greenhill yield all its supplies to their army. And I find that too bitter a pill to swallow.
With that, Teresa stopped speaking. After briefly averting her eyes, she turned to the townsfolk once more, with a determined look on her face.
I must ask you all a question. Would it be better to go down to the Highland camp and, while starving, aid in the destruction of the other city-state members? Or do we fight here?
A wave of tension spread through the citizens. People were murmuring.
The right to decide what should happen to Greenhill lies with everyone. Whether to fight or surrender, it's up to you. I will, however, promise you this. Those who will pledge to protect Greenhill to the best of their ability, I will be your ally, and I will give my body and soul to support you.
I was honestly pretty surprised that Teresa, who had seemed nothing more than a young noble, was able to give such an impressive speech. Greenhill's entire military strength is surpassed by a single Highland soldier, so the presence of Teresa could be a key to victory. It seems as if the town people have made up their minds without any argument at all. A swell of voices rose, calling for battle with the Highland army. Naturally, I'd asked Amelia to plant a few people to steer things in the right direction, but it looks like that wasn't necessary. Now we'd cleared the first hurdle on the path to victory, I pointed out to Teresa. The first thing to do was unite the hearts of the townspeople. Without unity, any chance of victory would be nothing but a dream. The citizens had begun to take on the look of determination. Teresa picked up on the change and began to speak once again.
If there's a consensus, Greenhill will not yield to Highland and will choose the path of battle. Is this all right?
The citizens responded to Teresa's word with an approving cheer.
Very well. Just as I made a promise to you, I also request a promise in return. Until this battle is over, I will have you all follow my orders as acting mayor of Greenhill. Men and women, young and old, must obey without question. All of Greenhill will face this restriction.
This is the second hurdle. A disorderly mob such as these people would have no chance against the Highland troops. The first thing is to establish a commander whose orders would be universally obeyed. With the enthusiasm present in the crowd, Teresa's proposal was accepted with no complaints. So far, so good. But the toughest hurdle will be the last.
Very well. I will now give everyone my first order as acting mayor.
Once again, the citizens grew tense.
From this moment, I will give command of all the armed forces of the city of Greenhill to a qualified person I have selected.
Yet again, the crowd began to stir. During the distraction, I made my way to stand next to Teresa.
I appoint this man, Nash Latchkey, to that position.
Hearing this pronouncement, the townspeople began to raise voices in question. Who is that?
He's that stranger who's staying at the inn. Why would she pick him?
Can we fight under the command of a stranger? This isn't funny. There's no way I'm following him. Once the voices had quieted down sufficiently, I opened my mouth to speak.
My name is Nash Latchkey. Teresa has hired me for 7 million potch. My family is related to the Silverbergs, famous for their strategic prowess. The dispute in the Queendom of Falena was quieted by my hands. My assistance is worth 1 million troops.
That's an interesting little tidbit. I had forgotten that was here. Beside me, Teresa's eyes were like dinner plates. Of course, these were all outright lies. In the besieged city of Greenhill, however, nobody could confirm or deny them. This was the only way I could think of to gain the trust of the citizens. The militia, especially, seems to remain strongly doubtful. Looks like I'll need to put on a flashy performance. So, are there any here who still want to oppose my appointment here? 6 self-proclaimed men of valor had already stepped up in opposition. It's a little harsh, but calling them that would be a lie. While While they were confident enough in their skill, they were still novices and no true opponents of mine. Unarmed, I threw each of them to the ground. Well then, it appears there aren't any more complaints. As I said that, I glanced at the faces of the troops. The first thing was to let them know the level of difference in our skill. And that was grudging, I could see acceptance on the soldiers' faces. Teresa began to speak once more.
Tomorrow, Highland will begin their attack. There isn't much time left, and our disadvantage is obvious. From now on, please follow Mr. Nash's orders and begin the preparations. We must not let Greenhill's pride be trampled on so easily.
The citizens' faces, though grave, took on a determined expression. Somehow we managed to clear the third hurdle. The townsfolk will begin preparations at my command. Without delay, I began giving orders to the townsfolk. Alright, I expect work to begin at once. First will be my orders for the militia forces. I looked over the militia. There was a mixed sense of respect for my strength among them. What'll it be? Do we attack from here? Ignoring the voice, I began handing down orders. Immediately take off your armor and place it together with your weapons here. Though suspicious of this unexpected order, the troops assembled their weapons and armor into a pile in front of me. Good. Next up, if any of you have any experience in blacksmithing, please step forward. I'm Jude, and I teach sculpture classes here. For now, I can also do blacksmithing. I see. So we'll start off with weapon and armor maintenance then. No, first are weapons. Melt down the weapons gathered here and forge the metal into spear points. All of these into spear points? Yes, all of them. Understood. I'll begin right away. Hey now, wait a second. You're gonna turn all these swords into spear points? Isn't that a waste? It's a bigger waste to put them into the hands of a bunch of novices like you. Once you're all holding spears, I'll teach you how to use them. Anyway, here's your next order. Take all of this armor to the top of the south wall. The top of the wall? What in the world are you planning? Once that's finished, I want all of you soldiers to make dummies. Get the resources you need from the forest behind the school. Emilia, you're in charge. Make them like how I showed you before.
Yes, I understand. Leave it to me. All right, everyone, follow me. Delays will not be forgiven. Come on, grab that armor and follow me.
The soldiers left campus with Emilia in the lead. For some reason, Emilia seemed awfully happy. Next up, are there any rune masters among you?
I'm Jean, and I teach runes at the academy. May I be of use to you?
Certainly. One more person, a young man, waded through the masses to stand before me.
I'm Connell. I'm studying to be a phonologist, but at the moment I'm also studying runes.
I appreciate your help. Now then.
Well, we could assemble the pupils from my class to help out, I think. But how would we be helping, I wonder?
Yeah.
Can you take all the runes and sealed orbs in Green Hill and turn them into talismans? That way more people will be able to use them than if we were to just leave them as runes. That's true. Is that the only favor you wanted to ask? Yes. Your clothes. They're a bit... Could you not stand, Okay, we'll begin immediately. We don't have much time, right? Jean, Connell, and the rest of the class left for the classrooms. They needed an appropriate space to work in. With them taken care of, I turned to face the remaining townspeople. Those remaining, draw water from the city wells and place it strategically around town. Once that's finished, tear down all stone walls inside the town and carry the stones to the top of the east and west walls. To be in charge of this, I'll appoint...
Me! Me! I'll take care of it. Draw water and gather stones on top of the walls. I'll do it.
Sure, I'm counting on you. Everyone, please hurry. There's not much time left. Once your work is finished, return here and I'll give you your next set of orders. Once I'd finished, Teresa nodded in satisfaction. She stepped in front of the townspeople once more. Everyone, let's fight! For victory!
All right, everyone. First up, draw water. Barrels, buckets, cups, pots. Use whatever works.
Finally, all the townspeople scattered to perform their various tasks. Now that our major work was done, I was a bit relieved. Teresa, now calm, turned to me. Mr. Nash, thank you very much. We couldn't have done this nearly so well without your help. Well... Looks like my old man's training came in handy. Never thought I'd ever need to use it back then. I resented him for it. Mr. Nash, do you think Green Hill can win? Frankly, I've used all the knowledge and spirit I can muster. We can only pray to the gods now. Do you believe in gods? There was a time when I did. Mr. Nash, what size should the points on the spears be? Don't give them too lengthy a point. Does it look like they'll be done by the morning? I think we'll just barely make it. Mr. Nash, the dummies you asked for are finished. Should we line them up along the top of the walls now? No, for now please get some sleep. Let the soldiers rest up until you see the signal. Understood.
Oh, this is where you were. Mr. Nash. We've carried over lots of stones. Is there anything else you want us to do?
Alright, I'll leave this one to you. Go gather up some cloth and put together some beds in one of the classrooms so we can gather the casualties there.
Okay. Excuse me, we weren't able to find many runes, so I'm afraid we'll be coming up a bit short in the sealed orb department.
I see. I wonder if there's another way. I'm certain there's some that are used by students for practice in the classrooms. Be sure to use the ornamental orbs as well. If you need more, ask old Ned in the basement.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Nash, we've prepared the oil you requested.
Okay, you guys go ahead and get some sleep.
But if everyone else is working...
We're all counting on you for the battle tomorrow morning. If you're exhausted before the fighting even begins, it could turn a victory into defeat. That's why I'm asking you to sleep.
Understood.
Nash, I've picked out all the militia members who have some experience using swords. But there's only about 30 in total. Is that okay? It'll have to do. We've had some red bandanas made. Please hand them out to those soldiers. Alright. How much more can we manage to do before the morning comes?
It's pretty quiet. Gates are still shut, though. Our scout should be reporting soon, but it looks like they're not planning to surrender. This way suits me better anyway. I can't wait to get my hands on the sweet spoils of war. Alright, men. Green Hill apparently plans to defy us, so we'll move forward with the assault. Begin with the preparations. Commander Roud, the scout's report has arrived. You forgot something. Huh? I said you forgot something. Think about what you just said. Yes, of course. Acting Corps Commander Roud. He spotted several soldiers atop Green Hill's walls. They appear to be concentrating their forces in the front.
Oh, so we noticed the face of this guy is the same as the guy who asked Nash what he was doing.
I'm a little disappointed that you didn't add Lord in there. Anyway, we'll avoid the main gate in the south and instead attack from the east and west. Nobody fall behind.
Alright, time for the defense of Green Hill. The Highland Army will probably begin their attack soon. I'll only say this once, so please listen carefully. First, those of you with the red bandanas, encamp at the east gate. Each of you take one of Jude's spears. Next, those of you with the green bandanas set up at the west gate. Same thing, don't forget to take a spear. I'll take command of the red group myself, and Shin will command the green group. Leave it to me. The task of these two groups is simple. Thrust downward with your spear at the Highland troops that are trying to climb up. Just like this. Simple, right? Don't worry about actually killing them. Just stab toward them and knock them away. Give it your undivided attention.
Yes, sir.
Next up, all citizens who are wearing yellow bandanas. You'll be following Teresa's instructions. Set up in the town. The Highland Army will be firing flaming arrows. Your task is to put out the fires they start. We can handle the walls, but we can't save the town from catching fire. Use the gathered water and devote yourself to firefighting.
Yes, sir.
Let's do our best, everyone.
Alright, last order. The students who volunteered for the white bandanas split up.
Prepare the talismans Jean and Connell assembled and stay on standby behind the east and west walls.
Yes. Yeah.
Alright, that's the last of my orders. From here on, I only ask you to do your absolute best. After I gave my orders, Teresa took over.
My fellow citizens, the Highland Kingdom has brought its army before us. We who have not the strength for fighting, who know not any means for fighting, and had forgotten any intention of fighting. Now the flame of hope is in our hearts, has been reignited. Through your help we have endured all-night work, and shortly, intense fighting will begin. What the Highlanders wish to overcome and destroy is our pride, the pride of the citizens of Greenhill. We can surely win the battle ahead, that much I believe.
Yeah! Let's go! For Greenhill!
Let's hurry up. There's no time to waste.
That's true, but do I win more 50-50 bets than I lose is the question.
So, it's begun.
Yes.
Well then, I shall be off. Stay safe, milady.
Yes. And you as well.
I'm not the kind of person who can stay safe.
Nash definitely wins more 50-50s than he loses.
And so the curtain was raised on the final act, the Battle of Greenhill. What had begun as a battle for my own life had quickly entangled me in a city-wide struggle. Stopping to think about whether this was a good thing or a bad thing was pointless now. The gods of fate appear to prefer a strange assortment of irony at all times.
Alright.
Okay, signal the east and west units. Commence the assault.
Yes, Your Excellency, Acting Corps Commander. They're coming.
Yeah, these games have good music.
Don't forget, we're not killing them, just stabbing and pushing them away. Don't forget your orders. Focus on the enemy right in front of us. The Highland attack had finally begun. Just as expected, it was a two-pronged assault to the east and west. The dummies placed above the main gate had served their purpose.
Looks like that's where Caesar got his idea.
Damn it! There's no end to him! Yeah! The militia soldiers are doing well. As long as they focus on stabbing downward, the Highland soldiers won't even be able to show off their swordsmanship.
Not Caesar or Julius Caesar, Caesar Silverberg in Suikogaiden 3. He and Apple pull off a similar trick.
Alright. Drop the stones now. One by one, we dropped the stones that the townspeople had gathered earlier.
I guess you probably could. Might not even be bad. Although, no, you know what? The garlic and the apple together is probably not good.
Ugh! Damn! There's no way we can advance like this. Don't worry about the ones that make it up here. Let me take care of all of them. Just focus on pushing off the ones that are still climbing.
Shin strode to and fro on the west gate, slaying the Highland troops that held parts of the wall one by one.
The west gate should be okay for now.
Your Excellency, Acting Corps Commander Roud. East and especially West forces are facing heavy resistance from the enemy. Soldiers who made it up to the top of the wall were cut down one by one by a swordsman waiting above. We can't get through. Huh. Persistent, aren't they? Very well, send in the magic users as reinforcements. We'll reduce the enemies on the walls to ashes. Understood.
The Highland troops that had been attacking the east gate suddenly began retreating. There was no way that they were giving up the attack, of course. I gave orders to the students on standby behind the eastern wall. Next will be the magic attack. Timing will be at your discretion. Return fire with your talismans. Finally, talismans are useful. Even before I'd finished giving the orders, explosions struck several places along the wall. They were followed by lightning strikes, and the militia soldiers were scattered. The Highland Army's magic attack had begun. Upon seeing the attack, the students began to use their talismans all at once. From earth spells for magic protection to water spells for recovery and wind spells for magic reflection.
Next up is a water rune talisman. Don't mix up your healing targets.
Under Connell's direction, the students coordinated the talisman magic.
Don't rush things. Concentrate and calm your hearts.
Jean gave the orders on the west gate. By coordinating her timing with Shin's movement, she was able to support him.
Bye.
I should be able to leave that side to them.
We really stopped their attacks, huh? I wonder if they've given up.
Indeed. Their attack seems to have died down, but they're still at it. Just stalling for time to keep us occupied. They must be planning on bringing in the heavy magic users. Connell, use the canopy defense talisman. You prepared one for each side, right? Hurry.
Yes.
What's wrong, Connell?
It's no good. I just can't handle the level of magic in this talisman. I'm sorry.
Damn. I suddenly noticed my heart pounding. This is my fault. Jean seems to have succeeded in expanding the canopy defense to cover the west gate. But there's not going to be enough time to run there. What should I do? Okay, so we're gonna have Nash do this himself. I have no choice. I'm not sure if I can make it in time, but there aren't any other options. I jumped down from atop the wall, grabbed the talisman from Connell, and tried to activate it. My first try was a failure. If I can't do it, we're as good as finished. One more try. Gotta focus my spirit. No good. It won't activate.
I could feel a surge of magic rising from the other side of the gate. This side will be turned to ashes if I don't get myself together. I'm desperate now, but I can't focus.
I'll lend you a hand. Hurry. Focus. Don't think about anything else.
Oh my god.
Somehow Jean had appeared behind me. She gently placed her hands on mine, lending me her strength. Right then, a power from within me surged forth, yeah, I bet, and I focused my consciousness on the talisman, and there! I finally achieved
Full canopy.
In the next instant, a shockwave reverberated around us. Just as the canopy defense field expanded, the enemy's furious blow attack hit. We escaped complete annihilation, but the militia seems to have suffered heavy losses.
Oh no, I'm sorry, the mute got activated.
Please focus on putting out all the fires. When arrows begin falling into the city, please withdraw alongside the walls.
Arrows are headed toward the university!
Leave the university campus to the students. Don't panic.
We don't have enough water! Wait, I'll go draw some more!
Out of the way! I'm using a wind magic talisman.
Teresa's group is also doing well. The enemy's firing their arrows in waves, but with water prepared and the students eagerly using wind magic to take care of the blazes, they're pulling it off.
Wouldn't wind magic make them worse?
I have my hands full with a wall to defend. The militia's weariness has reached its peak. Our defenses were being overcome more often, but each time, between my swords and explosives, we somehow managed to endure. Just as I thought the attack from beyond the gate had ceased, the arrows began to fall once again. Somehow the enemy had figured out what was going on in the city. They seemed to be aiming for the citizens firefighting inside. Most of the volleys were now centered on the main street of the city. As commander of her group, Teresa would be there herself.
Okay, so this is our option this time.
If Teresa were to be struck now, this could turn into a rout. Come on, stay out of the way. So praying, I jumped down from the wall. Those assigned to the inn won't be enough. Take half of the people assigned to the center.
Lady Teresa, watch out!
Huh?
Ah!
I left the wall's defenses to Connell and the militia and ran to Teresa's side. Running to Teresa's side, I found her surrounded by a circle of townspeople. I waded my way through the crowd, ordering people to return to their firefighting. Are you all right?
Yes. My arm's been... But I'm still all right.
Teresa remained steadfast, but the citizens around us couldn't hide their unrest. As I thought, she was the anchor for their spirit. She stood back up, which would do wonders for morale.
My fellow citizens, I'm all right. Please think only of protecting Greenhill now. This body's fate shall be one with the city's.
Immediately following her statement, Teresa collapsed for a second time. Yuri can handle Teresa's first aid. It'll be time to set the final plan into motion soon. Mr. Nash, is Milady safe? She's being given first aid. I'll be leaving soon in any case. Of course, that's why I returned. They were after my life from the start, but you don't need to... Should I instead let my swordsmanship get rusty? Very well. Shin and I sped on to execute the final plan. The hand-picked soldiers wearing red bandanas were waiting near the main gate. These soldiers, along with the townspeople defending the east and west walls, could only watch nervously as those in the center continued their work.
They've finally come. Let us at them already. Let's show them what we can do.
Sorry you guys had to wait so long. It's your turn now.
Give it all you got.
The only horses we have that are suitable for battle are these two on loan from Matilda. You and I are the only ones who could ride one anyway. Two should be all we need. As I straddled the horse, I began speaking to the troops.
We'll now attack Highland's main camp. Our comrades have done a fine job on our flanks. Most of our enemies are focused east and west. Their central force should be weak by now.
Huh? Ah, I see. So you're saying if we hit the center at once, then we can win this thing here and now?
That's right. Our objective is only to get the Highland troops to retreat. We can't possibly wipe them out with a force this size, but we can buy some more time to give the Knights of Matilda the time they need to get here. At this point, this is our only choice. Alright, let's get moving. Our target is the enemy commander. Taking his head or disrupting their forces will be enough. When you see the signal, retreat inside the gate, quickly. The 10 of you we chose earlier will be protecting the gates. That's the most important duty. We're counting on you.
Yes, sir.
Shin and I, both on horseback, lined up with the 20 hand-picked soldiers in the front of the gate. Victory or defeat would be decided soon. In one strike, we needed to make it all the way to enemy lines, reach our objective, and then retreat back to the gates before the troops on the east and west sides return. If we fail here, I don't even want to think about that.
Let's go!
At the signal, the gates opened and we all rushed out together. Shin and I were in the vanguard, all heading in a straight line towards the enemy headquarters.
Can't you follow orders? Damn it, you're all useless. If this keeps up, I'll be the one who looks incompetent. Acting Corps Commander Roud. Green Hill has opened the main gate to the city. Really? They did it! Alright, we'll hit the mullet. That is... An enemy detachment is heading directly here. What? What did you say? What happened to the defense units? Didn't I tell you to leave an elite defense force in reserve? Yes, we should be alright. Our defenses should hold. If we divide them and send them into attack. I'm still a little nervous. Order the attack force to fall back some. Yes, sir.
Shin took the vanguard and I followed him like a shadow through the battlefield. We encountered a Highland infantry unit on our way. As I expected, having no hindrances between us and the enemy headquarters was too much to hope for. Make it quick if you can. We don't have the time for this. Leave it to me. I will show you one of my sword's secrets. The 8 Temples technique. Spider Slash. Shin's sword whirled in all directions, and the enemies surrounding us were knocked off their feet with a clatter, defeated. This man had Seed and Kulgan the other day. To think that so many expert swordsmen are scattered in this area is terrifying. I held a makeshift firebomb in my right hand and brought out a talisman in my left and struck several Highland soldiers. I noticed an opening in the enemy formation and darted through. The militia following on foot managed to make it without slowing down. I'd asked Jude to repair the best armor as well as 2 sharpened swords for each of them. With that, we should be able to handle the Highlanders. After running a short while again, we came across more Highland troops. It's not looking good. There are far more soldiers here than I'd expected. I was starting to see fatigue in Shin's movements too. To come directly from the action at the gate with no rest may be too much, even for him. As I was preparing my next firebomb and trying to think about how to get us out of this mess, shadowy figures suddenly made our flank.
Alright, so unfortunately if we do this, we get the bad ending. So we're gonna do this. Because this is a scene that we didn't see last time, but here we go.
An ambush! Hidden Highland troops came out from the thicket on our flank and rushed into our ranks.
Ugh!
Some of the faltering militia behind were hit. Damn! I turned my horse toward the new soldiers and threw the bomb in their direction. Using the narrow sword in my right hand, I struck at the Highland soldiers, but my attack hit only air. That's strange. As I was trying to figure out what happened, the soldiers began their counterattack. These movements... they weren't Highland troops at all. They had to be Zaj's gunners. Openly using guns here would be an action that wouldn't go unnoticed in Central Harmonia. That's why he wanted to get me in the middle of a battle. I caught the sword strike aimed at me and threw a knife with my left hand in return. It's no use. I can't fight them off with these weapons. While I was thinking this, once again I saw a shadow strike from the thicket. The gunners that had been disguised as Highland soldiers were cast aside in a single strike. A man swinging a sword broke through like a tempest, felling most of the soldiers with one swift strike. At least he didn't seem to be our enemy. Who are you?
I'm here to help, good swordsman of Harmonia. I came to Greenhill to seek out the talented, famous young lady by the name of Teresa. I was hoping to obtain an audience, but then all these Highland soldiers got in my way. I've been waiting for a good opportunity to strike. In any case, who are these men? They're not Highland soldiers. Are they from the Howling Voice Guild?
How could you know?
I might not look it, but I've been to more than a few places, including Harmonia. So I understand what's going on there. You're in a hurry, right? I'll help you out.
I appreciate it. What's your name?
Georg Prime. I have several others, but that's my name now.
Georg? Deathblow Georg? In Harmonia, the man's a legend. Who'd have thought that I'd run into him here of all places? We followed Georg's lead, aiming once again for the enemy headquarters.
Hey! The attack force hasn't returned yet. Hurry it up, get them moving faster.
Yes.
Ugh!
Well, looks like we managed to make it.
You guys!
We made our way through the final enemy unit, single-mindedly focusing on breaking through. Finally, we'd cut our way to the Highland Army headquarters. Prepare yourself.
Wait! I surrender! That's right!
What should we do, Sir Nash? Even if he surrendered, that doesn't mean we've defeated the Highland Army, but we might be able to use him as a hostage. Tie him up and let's return to Greenhill as quickly as we can. From the rear of the camp, a fresh unit of Highland soldiers arrived. The enemy has very few soldiers. Rescue Acting Corps Commander Rowd and then retreat with the rest of the troops. Poor strategy cost us an easy victory. Begin regrouping our forces here. The new Highland unit approached without breaking order and circled us, preparing to charge. Change of plans. Retreat. And hurry. Shin cut open a path for us once again, and as we saw Greenhill's gates, we set our horses running. As we entered, we noticed that there were traces of smoke in the town center, but it was surprisingly quiet. The militia who defended the walls to the last, the townspeople who put out the flames, the students who tended to the wounded. All were exhausted, many having to lean against the walls just to stand up, some sleeping on the ground and others merely resting in silence. There was no reveling in victory, but there was the sense of satisfaction that comes from having fulfilled one's duty. So, this is where you were, Sir Nash. Oh, Shin. How's Teresa doing? It seems it was not a grave wound. Teresa did not go into shock, but the doctor says she'll recover soon. Oh, she did go into shock. I see. Sir Nash, we're indebted to you for lending us your strength. It was nothing. I'm not even sure how much help I was. Either way, we still can't rest easy now. The Highland Army hasn't given up yet. You're right. We won't be able to rest until reinforcements arrive. Exactly. Sir Nash, when will you be leaving? My wounds are still giving me trouble. 2 or 3 days should be about right. Hush.
Is nah. Maybe a bucket of water?
Huh? Huh? Wait! I'm up!
Oh, good morning. Feeling better after your little nap?
Is it morning already?
Morning? It's well into the afternoon.
Oh. What could it be? It's been a long time since I've been so tired. I'm even staying asleep when people come into the room.
Mr. Nash, you've pushed yourself too hard.
I've just been helping out a little. By the way,
Don't worry. We have both breakfast and lunch for you. Since Highland retreated, we even got some vegetables in. So look forward to it, okay?
I appreciate it. As I was looking forward to the meal, I glanced over the rest of the patrons. Each face showed the relief of releasing long-held tension. Highland hadn't left entirely. The immediate threat had passed. Even the flavor of the coffee was different. Fresh beans, I'd wager.
What are you gonna do now, Mr. Nash? You're not leaving yet, are you?
Not yet. For now, I'm gonna go speak with Teresa. Something's bothering me.
What's the trouble? Is it Teresa's condition? Or could it be that schoolgirl that's been checking up on you in your sleep?
What the? Ugh. Well, I mean the general situation. We can't really rest until Matilda sends reinforcements, right?
I suppose. So you're thinking about that again. Sorry for bringing it up.
Right. Hey, how's the battle situation? Teresa, Shin, Amelia, Jude, Jean, and several others had gathered in the dean's office.
Mr. Nash.
Teresa, is your injury doing better?
Yes, but that's hardly what this is for.
What's happened now?
Well, our messenger to the Knights of Matilda has returned, but it's terrible. It's like they're just going to watch us die. Amelia.
Miss Amelia, try not to get so worked up.
But everyone's worked so hard to have it just end like this.
What in the world happened? The Knights of Matilda replied. They said that they would make no moves. What does this mean?
Well, we aren't hearing this firsthand, but apparently they're saying there are no more reports that the Highland Kingdom is invading Greenhill, and the Knights will not move. We've heard that there are no reports that the Highland Kingdom is invading Greenhill, and the Knights will not move carelessly. They're just saying we've been lying about all this, aren't they? After all we've been through, all of this.
I see.
It's all right, Amelia. We'll show them we can defend Green Hill. We've learned a lot from Mr. Nash, so if Highland besieges us again...
Lady Teresa! Lady Teresa! Good news!
What in the world has happened?
Hey, LSD. Yeah, you do. They're good.
Come to the main gate! Quickly! Hurry!
You're here just in time for the end of this one. And then we're going to do a little Final Fantasy X.
A group of citizens had gathered at the gate. Beyond the gate, the forms of many people could be seen. They weren't Highland troops, though.
What's this about?
It's the Muse soldiers that were captured by Highland. It looks like they were suddenly freed and came here. It looks like their weapons and armor were returned to them as well. With them here, we can surely defend Green Hill. If they're releasing the prisoners of war, then that must mean they want peace with us. We're saved.
Lady, this means... Teresa nodded once, then gave the order to the soldiers.
Please open the main gate. Let them enter.
Teresa, wait!
Mr. Nash,
This is a trap. Highland's plan is to destroy the city-state. There must be something behind this.
I know. I understand that Highland is not that generous an enemy. However, outside those gates are our comrades. Closing the gates to them would be the same as sentencing them to death.
At that time, I knew Teresa understood. This was a Highland scheme. However, since the knights won't move,
The Knightdom's inaction is even more of a reason to let these people in. Open the gates.
Teresa! The gate opened and the Muse soldiers entered the city with wide smiles on their faces. The townspeople welcomed the soldiers who'd received actual military training.
Now we have twice the number of soldiers. No way we're losing to those Highlanders now. Yous may have fallen some time ago, but we'll show you that we can protect Green Hill. Yeah! We don't need the knights anymore.
But it was only a matter of time before the unease I felt would become a bitter reality.
Come on! How much longer are we gonna have to wait for our orders? Shut the hell up. If you don't like it, leave. How'd you like it if we sent you back to Muse, huh? What? Damn you.
Now, everyone. If you're going to start a brawl, just get it over with.
1 week had already passed since the soldiers from Muse came to Greenhill. The initial delight quickly changed to regret. Highland soldiers showed their faces again and encircled us from afar. It was an inescapable situation. The reason was obvious. Ever since all the Muse soldiers had come here, the already dwindling food and other supplies had been exhausted. Citizens were forcibly reduced to abject poverty. One more month of this, and Greenhill would surely burn. I could tell the pot was about to bubble over at any moment. The citizens of Greenhill knew it was the Muse soldiers who were causing supplies to run out. On the other hand, they also thought that the Muse soldiers had been given weapons and armor so that they could take over the town. At this point, only a few quarrels and the like had broken out, but there's no way of telling exactly when this powder keg will explode. I decided to pass up on my chance to run away and had stayed in Greenhill after all. I don't know what Zaj's next move will be, but A few more days of rest here. A wanderer like myself doesn't usually receive such a warm reception as I did in Greenhill. I guess people like me just aren't smart enough to know when to quit. Besides, I kind of like this place. However, even being here in this place doesn't mean I don't have my own reasons to fight.
Oh, he's here, he's here. Good morning.
Ugh, you never run out of energy, do you?
Mr. Nash, you've been sitting here all this time, right? You need to get more exercise. Come on, what do you think? Let's go for a walk together.
I guess so. That'd be alright.
Huh? Huh? Really? Oh. Okay, let's go. Hurry.
Food was now being rationed. This was to distribute what food remained as impartially as possible, but there were still those who slipped through the system. 2 people had been caught already trying to sneak into the food storehouse. Both times it had been one of the soldiers from Muse. This had resulted in a lot of anger toward the soldiers among the citizens.
Oh, not again.
On the street corner, an argument had broken out between Muse soldiers and the citizens.
What are you mouthing off about? If it weren't for us, Greenhill had already been taken by those Highlanders. You're talking garbage. We managed to drive those Highland soldiers off without you guys. I didn't see you guys there.
You guys, act your age. Mayor Teresa's already ordered us to use the distribution system for our supplies.
Ugh.
Coming back from breaking up the argument, Nina had an unusually desolate look on her face.
It's awful. After we did so well for so long. And Lady Teresa was willing to sacrifice so much and accept the Muse soldiers in the city.
Yeah. Before we knew it, our feet had led us to the Academy campus. A crowd had amassed in front of the campus. It looked like some soldiers had taken control of one of the food warehouses next to the Academy. The bulk of the soldiers were from Muse, but I can see some Greenhill militia among them. I'd expected something like this, and what I'd been dreading had finally happened. My advice to Teresa had been to put only the most trusted soldiers in charge of distributing the food. It seemed that hadn't been enough.
What in the world is going on here? All of you, leave here and go back to your posts immediately.
Our posts? Don't kid around. We can't even tell who the real enemy is around here. We know you lot have been keeping all the food for yourselves.
What nonsense are you talking about? That warehouse is for what remains of the townspeople's food. It isn't only for you.
Shut up. You're trying to sell us out to those Highlanders. We don't want that to happen. You all have a secret agreement with Highland. We know that much.
What do you mean?
We know we're just in the way. That's why you put us on the outside duty. Whether it's in Highland or here, we're just taking up space. That's why in the middle of this battle, you're planning to do away with us.
Saying such ridiculous things. Muse soldiers were stationed outside because they don't have experience in town fighting to avoid conflicts with the townspeople. What the hell is spreading these rumors?
If you don't stop this nonsense, I'll have to consider this an insurrection.
Hey, look at that! After all that, you call us rebels. We don't have to put up with this. See, we thought this far ahead.
With those words, the Muse soldiers entered the warehouse. Ah, several children are in there. How despicable.
We feel kind of bad about this, but you'll just have to deal with it. Until we contact you, anyway.
Damn. What the hell are they planning? An hour passed after the stores were captured. All of the representatives of Greenhill were called to the dean's office, but each and every one was looking downcast.
We haven't made any progress so far. I'm worried about those kids, too.
Those cowards. They have hostages, so we can't really do anything about it.
A rescue operation is what we need. But it's something we can only talk about.
Jeez. What are those guys planning?
Nina, what are you doing here?
Huh? Well, everyone's gathered here, and I thought my presence would be indispensable. As a representative of the students is all. And all. As a representative of the students and all.
When were you elected representative?
Just a while ago. Mine was the only vote.
Yeah.
When they say contact, what could they mean?
Whoa. Miss Jean. Were you here all this time? Okay, Sunmaid, see you in a bit.
Oh my, how impolite.
Pardon me.
It's all right.
Anyway, contact. That is really an odd word to use.
Lady Teresa, the rebelling soldiers are demanding that we bring you to talk to them, milady.
I understand. I'll go immediately.
Just like before, the outside of the storehouse was surrounded by Muse soldiers, and they were encircled by even more citizens. As they saw Teresa, the townspeople opened a path for her.
What is it this time? If you've decided to surrender, please lay down your weapons and come out immediately.
Sorry, miss, but we haven't decided on that just yet. I got good news for you, though. It's okay to release the hostages.
What are the terms?
You're gonna take their place as our hostage.
This brought a clamor from the citizens. Of course. If she were taken hostage, who would be in charge of Greenhill? More importantly, what if the Highland Army decided to attack? Teresa's obviously conflicted. She has to know that if she were taken hostage, that would be the end of Greenhill's freedom. I make my way through the crowds and approach her. Don't do it.
I made my way to Teresa's side. This is Suikogaiden. And it always looked just like this. Don't do it, Teresa. If you're taken before our very eyes, that'll be the end of Greenhill. This has got to be some sort of Highland plot. I know that, but I'm already so worn out.
Milady. Please stop putting yourself in harm's way.
Thank you, Shin. You know, I wanted to protect the townspeople, to protect the people of the city-state. But then, this situation arose as a consequence. Somehow, I want to take this responsibility for my previous decisions on my own.
Milady.
It's all right. I'm only becoming a hostage.
But those guys... As if to cut straight through my words, Teresa stepped in front of the Muse soldiers.
I understand. We will accept your demands. Release your hostages immediately.
Teresa's words to the Muse soldiers caused a wave of unrest among the assembled citizens. All of them looked as if they were praying for Teresa's safety, but Teresa herself did not look back. Soon the children were released and emerged. Teresa walked up to them and gently put her hand on one shoulder.
Are you okay? I'm so sorry. Were you scared? It's all right. You can go back home now.
Yeah, but
What's wrong?
inside it's filled with bread, right? I'm not allowed to eat it. That's because there's only a little left?
I'm sorry. I'm really, truly sorry. Go back to your mother. From tomorrow on, you'll surely be able to eat some bread.
Really? You mean it? Yay.
In place of the children, Teresa returned inside with the Muse soldiers. As if choosing that moment of his own volition, a messenger came running up.
It's an emergency! The Highland Army has begun to advance!
I see. So this had all been coordinated. The new Highland commander must be pretty sharp.
At this exact moment.
It's because it's this exact moment that they're advancing. When the Muse soldiers were released, they must have made some sort of promise to do this as collateral. Greenhill's food stores would be wasted on the soldiers that they took in. Greenhill would fall without a fight, since the Knights of Matilda refused to send reinforcements. Teresa had been their only problem. As long as she was with them, the people of Greenhill would have hope. And if they still have hope, even if Greenhill were to fall, then they might rebel. This is how they thought they'd nip that possibility in the bud. If it was only a siege, Teresa might be able to hide and avoid being found. That's why... Damn. When did I become so powerless? The swordsmanship I learned as a temple guard, the techniques I acquired in the Howling Voice Guild, grosser flows on my back. All powerless. Teresa's voice echoed through the suddenly silent area.
Open the gates. Greenhill doesn't have any strength left. Maybe I can still accomplish something for everyone by trading myself for bread. Teresa had given up. She was smiling a small, forlorn smile. Greenhill's gates opened with no resistance. I watched from a distance as the Highland troops entered in an impressive formation. Awaiting them were rebellious troops, proudly holding the weary Teresa captive. No person can raise a hand to stop the cogs of history as they turn ever onward. All the citizens, feeling an overpowering helplessness, had gone completely silent. I no longer have a place amongst these streets. Returning to the inn, I got my things in order. Now that Greenhill had fallen, I didn't know how soon Zaj's assassins would strike. Oh, you're running away again. My heart skipped a beat, as if it were held in a firm grip. I turned around to find Yuri in the doorway. She was surprised by my threatening manner. Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. Was that you just now? What do you mean? Must have misheard. Sorry. Did you need something? Well... After Yuri entered, I could see the forms of other people. Shin, Nina, Amelia, Jean, Jude, Connell, and many townspeople. Why? Greenhill has surrendered. However, I want to recapture Lady Teresa. If Teresa's safe, then a day will come when Greenhill's people will be able to regain the strength to resist. Yeah. For someone who works so hard for all of us, it's the worst thing for her to have to suffer. Truly. Truly. So...
Well, it's settled. We have to rescue Miss Teresa.
I beg you, please lend us your strength. I closed my eyes briefly, and then I answered. I agree. No way I'm getting off this ship.
Really?
I'm sorry. No problem. If we're caught, then we'll be sorry. That's a pretty scary attitude. Well, everyone gather around. Here's the plan.
When's the Highland Commander gonna get here? I don't know. Instead of worrying about that, we really need to keep a watch on Teresa. Until we have that reward in our hands, we can't let her out of our sight. Yeah, I know.
Hey, out of the way! This is a pretty big box. You might get hurt.
It does, because Suikogaiden has, 9 followers on Twitch.
What the hell are you doing? What's that huge box? Get over there!
Huge box? You've never seen a garment box before?
Garment box?
That's right. You guys are handing Teresa over to the Highlanders, right? If she only has the clothes on her back, it'll be a disgrace to the name of Greenhill. Hey, you get over here and help carry it. Alright, just go straight.
I guess there's no helping it. Shoganai. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Huh? Get over here and grab this side.
Like we said. Now be careful.
This thing's pretty big. Hey, I'm gonna take a look inside.
Go right ahead. I think you might be disappointed, though.
What do you mean?
Trojan horsing it.
Sound rune. Object of my oath and contract. Medium of my technique. Let your power fill the earth and resound.
Connell had hidden himself someplace I couldn't see from where I was, and used his rune. Suddenly, a dissonance echoed through the area. While most of the Muse soldiers were dazed, Shin and I leapt out of the garment box. Connell has offensive capabilities. Shin, you take care of Teresa. We were wearing earplugs, so I had to raise my voice to be heard. Shin gave a barely perceptible nod and ran to Teresa's side. I covered Shin, stopping the soldiers who were headed in his direction. Shin! Milady, please do not move. Shin's sword sliced through not only the soldiers surrounding Teresa, but also the rope that bound her. Shin! Why would you do this? To rescue you from this place. I've already decided. For the future of Greenhill. So please don't do this. This life, which I received from the Wisemail family, is dedicated only to protecting you. We're in a hurry. Forgive me. Shin took Teresa in his arms. That taken care of, I put my hand in my pocket. Soon the area was filled with the confusion of a smokescreen and the light of a flash bomb.
Damn! Where'd they go? Don't let them run away! Find them, quickly! I saw a few shadows running for the academy. Everyone, hurry! If this continues, our reward's gone.
See? I told you you'd be disappointed.
Over there. Don't let them escape.
Oh my, all of you. Where are you going all panicked like that?
Shut up, out of the way.
My, so rude. Although, from time to time that's nice. A big sweaty man like you. Hard to say that you're good looking though.
Huh?
Shin! Where are we going? There's a place where we can reach the forest behind the academy. There's a small hut hidden there. A hidden passage, you mean?
Damn! Where'd they go? On the second floor. They ran to the second floor. Everyone, assemble here! They can't run now. Be careful. One of them is an incredible swordsman. Okay, everyone, let's fortify the area. Alright, follow your orders.
What is this all about? Stand down. This is all terribly rude.
Really? Ugh! Damn! You've been fooled. This was a sham. This is bad for my heart.
You think so? I thought it was thrilling. My heart was pounding. Oh, it felt so good.
Just a little farther to the hut. I'm relieved we got so far. Not a moment after I said that, I heard some indication that there were people following us and stopped walking.
What's wrong?
Nothing serious. Could you both go on ahead? Maybe this is a good place for us to part ways. I'll leave Teresa to you. Of course.
Part ways?
You have things that you must do, but I also have things that I must do. I've started to understand that. No, you taught me that. Thank you, Teresa, and farewell.
But,
Go on, quickly.
Mr. Nash, be careful.
I pray for your safety. Teresa and Shin disappeared into the forest. The pursuers in hiding clearly did not follow them. I understood their motive then. You can come out now. Show yourself, Zaj. Ah. You figured it out, Nash. That was quite the scene back there. Holding back and watching something like that really isn't like you, Zaj. You're right. In all that confusion, it would have been a simple thing for me to take your life. So why didn't you do it? Are you suddenly feeling merciful? I'd like to ask you just one question. Don't be so self-important. Then I'll get right to it. Nash, your orders were to obtain information regarding the true rune, correct? However, you lent Greenhill a hand. At one point, you could easily have run away, but you stayed. Why is that? Who knows? Answer me, Nash. Even if I told you, you couldn't understand. A sentiment called compassion lives in my heart, you see. I see. Just like that time. You're acting according to your feelings. You're right, I am. And back in Harmonia, that would have shamed me, but I've left Crystal Valley behind me. My life there is over, and I don't regret a thing. I knew when I did it that I was making a mistake at this. Ugh. I knew when I did it that I wasn't making a mistake this time either. And now I'm even more certain. You never change, Nash. Nothing about you ever changes. You're always this way, so my threats aren't even worth it. Farewell, Nash. I very much look forward to the day that you return to Crystal Valley. Zaj departed with those words. I haven't changed at all? I repeated that question endlessly in my head, but I could think of no response.
And that's the end of Suikogaiden Volume 1. So it'll be continued in Volume 2 next time, as Nash does make his way into the grasslands, and then from there on into Harmonia. So, yeah, the Volume 1 basically runs parallel to Suikoden 2, and then Volume 2 sort of sets up Suikoden 3, which is kind of fun. It's the first time we hear about the Firebringer and the Flame Champion and all of that other stuff. So what we're going to do after the credits run is I'll put up my end screen as I get things set up for Final Fantasy X, which I'll do for a little bit. And then I will turn off the stream for like 30 seconds just to reset it and restart OBS, and we'll be back with Final Fantasy X. I don't think I remember this music at all, really, from the last time I played this. Most of the other music is arranged from the other games, but this is original. Alright, well, next time we play this, I think we have to jump the bridge. Even though it means we can't get the good ending. Oh no. I accidentally hit a button and stopped the credits, I guess.
How many months has it been since I left Greenhill? Tales brought over the wind speak of a new allied city-states army, and that they managed to liberate Greenhill. Yuri, Teresa, Shin, Jude, Amelia, Jean, Connell. I hope they're all safe. So, where are you headed? To finish your mission? Or... Are you gonna stand in my way? If you plan on holding me back, you better be ready to go through hell for it. Just like old times.
Alright, and that's the end. To be continued. Alright. So, time to put up the end screen, I suppose. I guess I will do some save data here, so that we can import it into the next Suikogaiden. I think that the points carry over somehow, but I'm not exactly sure how. Did I screw that up? Maybe I did. Anyway, here we go. So I'm gonna do the credits and be back shortly with Final Fantasy X.